Hi folks, today I have for us some video from We Are the Bosses where he decides to go to the Chicago Housing Authority and gets arrested for trespassing. But before we start today's video, as always, a very special thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, we couldn't get the channel going, so I want to personally thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the page, leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Yeah, I'm okay. This the Chicago Housing Authority? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Do you guys have a supervisor around? Is there a supervisor here? Do you have any kind of supervisor? My concern, I just wanted to see if I can speak with anyone here about an issue. Any? No, I'm just, no, I'm not. That's the only way I can speak with someone.
Why is he even here in the first place? Well, it's quite simple. He's claimed that he's read a news article where a person on the south side of Chicago is reporting that they are being forcefully evicted as a form of retaliation for reporting to the Chicago Housing Authority that they have unsafe sewer conditions in their apartment complex. Well, that's partially true. Now, what he doesn't tell people is the outcome of that article, where the Chicago Housing Authority are being forced to fix the sewer conditions and they're being fined $2,000 because of that. Not to mention, she's not being evicted forcefully because of retaliation. No, it's the simple fact of the matter that her apartment unit, I should say, is unsafe, and they are offering to put her in a new unit at no cost to herself. But she's rejected that.
I have to call them so no one can come down here and speak with me. No? Okay. All right. Can I not film in here? Oh, are you a supervisor?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
Yes,
What?
you have to ask permission to film in here, please.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so don't film me. I don't want to be filmed. I don't want to be in your camera.
Okay, I mean, if you're gonna be rude,
Neither did she.
if you're gonna be rude about it, then I'm gonna record everything. Okay?
Is there something related that you need some help with?
I just had questions for any supervisor that's present.
You'll fill out the sheet and somebody will come and check with you in a minute. But can you please point that camera elsewhere?
Ma'am, if you keep telling me to do that, then I'm not going to do that. All right? I have a right to record in public.
You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass. Why don't you jump up on the stand? You have a
You
Okay.
have to film me
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
Okay? So
All right.
can you please point that elsewhere? If you don't have any business with CHA.
Okay.
If you do, you have questions, you'll have to fill out the thing. Please turn that camera off, sir.
Ma'am, the more you.
Okay, can you call security up upstairs?
Okay.
Did you have an appointment?
I don't need an appointment to be here, ma'am.
No, you don't. But
Yeah.
you need some help, you can go ahead and fill out a sheet.
Okay.
And please point that camera elsewhere.
Actually, that's part of the reason that I'm here to do an employee conduct check, and so far you've.
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
So you're doing an employee conduct check, huh? Well, that's not how this works here, sir. You see, you're mistaking a direct democracy with a representative democracy, where in a direct democracy, you could actually tell the public workers what to do, because you would technically be their boss. However, here in a representative democracy, we have people that we elect into a position to give out those jobs and to sanction and deal with the employees. Just because you have a camera and a YouTube channel and you call yourself an advocate for the First Amendment does not make it so. All First Amendment frauditors are nothing more than irritants that go around trying to get some kind of reaction. They are the modern day YouTube pranksters. And because they blanket themselves with the First Amendment and act like they have some knowledge of it, doesn't mean it's true.
You're proving me right. She's barking orders at me not to record in public. I wasn't even here for her.
Well, maybe she's trying to protect the private information of the people who come here at the Chicago Housing Authority to get homes, to get assistance to getting homes. You know, they have to give up some personal information there. You know, social security numbers, dates of birth, phone numbers, stuff that is highly valuable on the dark web to commit identity theft. Well, we're going to jump ahead because there's a lot of dead air to where he walks around and has another confrontation with the employee. And then another cut to when security comes.
So she thinks that she can bark orders at me to leave a public space. It's one thing to politely ask not to be on camera. It's a whole other thing to bark orders at me and tell me to get out of public property. That's when the camera stays on you.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans here because of his own hypocrisy. She did ask you nicely. She said, "Sir, please don't film me. I don't want to be filmed. You don't have my permission." But yet you wanted to take it a step further. You wanted to be the one to be the instigator. You could have politely talked to her, but no. You chose to be rude and arrogant and act like you have the authority to do what you want. Not to mention, you're going on this rant of saying, well, if you ask politely, I'll consider it. When she did, you still don't do it. You insult her and then, well, make yourself look like a bigger horse's ass.
Ma'am, what's your name? Ma'am, what's your name?
Please don't come in here. Can you step away? I asked you more than once not to film me.
What's your name?
Thank you. Have a good day.
No? Did you call the security person? You did? Okay. So it seems like she asked for the security personnel. We're going to wait around to see if they understand that members of the public have a right to be here and observe them. We are at the Chicago Public Housing Authority, where they pretty much do whatever they want. A lady made some complaints and they threatened her with eviction.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
And I'm calling shenanigans yet again, because like I said at the beginning of the video, she was not being forcefully evicted because of retaliation. It's because her home is unsafe, and they have offered to give her a place to stay. She's turned it down, but they still have the right to evict her for unsafe conditions.
How's it going, sir?
I'm good, how are
If
you?
you want to record me as I'm speaking.
I'm sorry?
This is a private building. You're making people very uncomfortable.
Who am I?
At this point, this is a verbal trespass. We're going to have to ask you to leave. If you refuse, which you might will, we'll just call CPD and you'll just end up waiting here until everything.
May I have your name?
I will not be answering any questions.
May I have your
However,
name?
At this time, you are trespassing.
Do you work for the public?
I am not a law enforcement officer.
Okay.
I do not need to provide you my name.
Do you work for the public?
I just said I am not a law enforcement officer.
It doesn't
I do
matter.
not need to provide you any information.
If you work for the public, you need to identify yourself when you engage a member of the public.
This time you are trespassing.
Okay.
Please leave the building.
This is public property.
This is not public property.
Listen.
This building is privately owned.
Okay, it's privately owned?
This entity is public.
Exactly.
This building is privately owned.
You just answered my
This
question.
land is privately owned.
I am telling you, this is
This
public
time it's
property.
trespassing.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
Now, our frauding friend here is wrong about quite a few things. So, let's correct him, shall we? First and foremost, this is a privately owned building. They can actually ask you to leave and trespass you. Secondly, just because a public entity happens to rent office space in a privately owned building, it does not make it public. And it does not mean you have the right to film there or do whatever you want. And lastly, just because this security guard works in this privately owned building where a public works or a public entity is residing, it does not mean he needs to identify to you. He is a private security guard working for the building itself, not the Chicago Housing Authority.
You can't trespass me from public property.
If you comment on one, you can feel free to stand around until they arrive.
Do what you want to do. I'm telling you, this is not private property. Okay? You need to understand that.
Believe what you want, sir.
The fact that you're ignorant about that is telling. It's telling. It might be a private building, but CHA, like you said, is a public entity. So that makes this space a public space.
Wrong!
All right?
Yep. Just
Okay?
any reason why you came today?
Just to see how you respond to members of the public that want to observe you during the course of your duties. And so far, you've proven that you have no idea what the rights of the members of the
Again,
public
you are
are.
trespassing.
Okay.
Anytime you're willing to leave.
I heard you the first time.
Might be 15, 20 minutes before CPD.
I heard you the first time. You have a good day. Maybe they can educate you that I have a right to be here.
Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Well, allow me to educate you, Mr. Frauditor. Illinois law, criminal trespass to real property, which states a person commits criminal trespass to real property when he or she 1. Knowingly and without lawful authority enters or remains within or on a building. 2. Enters upon the land of another after receiving prior to the entry notice from the owner or occupant that the entry is forbidden. Or 3. Remains upon the land of another after receiving notice from the occupant or the owner to depart. This is a Class B misdemeanor punishable by 6 months in jail or a maximum fine of $1,500. Seeing as the security would have the authority to ask you to leave and you've refused, this would make it criminal trespass to real property.
No, they're going to ask you to leave as well.
Okay, we'll wait for them and see what happens. And be more professional.
So why CHA this time?
Oh, why CHA this time? Because CHA is a public entity.
So you're just an auditor for all public agencies?
I'm sorry?
You're just an auditor for all public agencies?
Every government agency. Yeah,
Cool.
every government agency.
Well, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Just stand by.
Sounds good.
Try not to bother anybody.
All I do is record. People actually bother me. It's the other way around.
No, you've got it backwards. You're the one that bothers people. You're the one that goes to government buildings and offices to harass people for no freaking reason. But I will be jumping ahead into the Deputy Director of Security shows up because there is just going to be a lot of him chastising them about not identifying how it's unprofessional, even though they don't have to. So let's just jump ahead and enjoy the rest of the video.
So are you the supervisor? Are you the supervisor?
I'm a deputy chief.
You're deputy chief?
of safety and security. Yeah.
Okay, they will not identify themselves.
I'm sorry?
They will not identify themselves when I ask them for their names.
They don't have to.
They don't have to. You don't have that in your policy that public employees have to identify to
When we
members of
have,
the public. They don't even have a badge on. How do I know they work for CHA?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
How can I take his word for it that he works for CHA? How can I identify that? He could be anyone off the street.
Like you?
Yeah, like me. Yeah. Like
But
me.
I know him. I know who he is.
Yeah, that's
he
not-
works for me, so I'm good with that.
Okay, but the members of the public are not good with that. That's what you fail to understand. We need to be able to identify you guys when we walk in here as public employees.
No, that's not true, though.
That's
Yeah,
not
that
true?
is.
Yeah, but he doesn't have one.
He has it.
Okay, he just pulled it out of his pocket.
That's all we need.
Why didn't he do that the first time? Just be more professional. That's all I'm asking. He wasn't.
He's
Being professional is identifying yourself when you encounter a member of the public. That's being professional. All right, and so far you're not setting a good example. That's shameful. That's shameful. Oh, absolutely right.
You're going to stand over here.
Absolutely right.
This is private.
Oh, come on. Don't,
No,
don't,
you're going to stand over here.
don't go there. This is all public
You're not-
space.
No, it's not. You're not.
This frauditor keeps forgetting that this is a private building, private land that just leases office space to CHA. It does not make it a publicly owned building. And even so, just because it's a publicly owned building does not mean it's a First Amendment protected area. Now, I've went over the trespassing law. We went over the fact that this is private. I think this guy just fell down the logic hole of all frauditors, thinking just because something is public or owned by the government, it means they can do whatever they
Not allowed to walk past this area. This is for our residents. This is for our employees.
Okay.
This is for the public. Did you check in?
I don't have to check in.
Yes, you did.
I don't
Now,
have to
that
check
is
in.
policy. So I would prefer you go over there.
It is policy. It's not law. I go by the law. Policy is for the employees here.
That's just stupid.
Okay.
All right.
So just so you also understand.
Okay.
I don't approve you recording me.
Oh, you're in public. You have no expectation of privacy in public. Don't you know that?
No. But can I record you?
Oh, you can. But the thing is, absolutely, there are cameras here. But the difference is, you're in your public capacity, and whatever you do becomes public record.
Right.
So when you do that, I'm going to request that. I'm going to FOIA request that, and you're on notice now. Do not delete that when you record me.
Okay.
You're on notice.
So you don't mind me recording you? I'd just like to show the police the video.
Yeah, they're here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they're here.
I'll just record you.
Yeah, they're
But
here.
you're not going to go past this.
Oh, I already did.
Thank you. So I gave him a not walk around.
Okay. He said I couldn't be over here. Ma'am, I'm not gonna record you. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you.
So
Well, nice to meet you.
Sir, you gotta go. Okay?
I have to go. I have to go. And why is that? May I have your name first, Dolan?
Sergeant Dolan,
What's your badge number?
177 now.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, you can't, if there is need to leave, you have to leave.
Sir, this is public space. Okay? The only way they can ask me to leave a public space is if I violate the law. Okay, if I commit a crime, that's when you can trespass someone from public property. Simply being here, recording and exercising my First Amendment right to record public employees, and the courts have established that we can come in and record you and every one of them during the course of their duties. So just because they don't like it, doesn't mean they have the right to kick me out of here.
Well, unfortunately,
Okay.
when I gave you the warning that you're not allowed to go into an employee area, you did.
Sir, this is a
So
public
that's
space.
why
No,
now
no,
you're
no.
This is a,
Only certain parts are public. Certain
Okay.
parts are not.
okay. If you're going to go that way, for any space in public to be deemed inaccessible to the public, it has to be clearly marked restricted. If it's not marked,
Well, I think the employees are telling you.
oh no, it has to be officially marked.
sir.
It-
While, yes, a notice sign saying restricted access or limited access would be helpful, and it does help enforce it, but if you have members of staff telling you you cannot enter a certain area because you are not permitted to, or it's not owned by the city, that's more than enough to tell you you can't go there. If you choose to go there, that's you violating the rules and policies, which would give them the authority to have you leave. This misconception that all frauditors have, that just because it's a public place, they cannot be trespassed unless they commit an actual crime in their eyes, even though criminal trespassing is a crime, they can still be.
It has to be officially
If
marked.
you don't leave,
Okay.
you're going to get arrested.
I'm going to get arrested
Yeah.
for being in
You're
the
going to sign complaints for criminal trespass.
for being in a public space. That way I have the right
This
to
is
be.
not a public space. Where you went was not public.
Where?
That's fine.
Okay,
We'll
where's
work with you.
where's the restriction? Where's the signs that says restricted? That's the only way you can restrict my movement in a public space. It has to be. There have to be a sign that says it's restricted.
Any problem
Okay.
having me locked up?
All right. Okay, go ahead and violate my rights under USC United States Codes.
120.
You cannot construe a constitutionally protected activity into a crime.
Squad, I need a two-man unit over to.
And yeah, get your supervisor, please.
Stand here and, we had a subject, for criminal trespass to CHA property when he's.
Get your supervisor. I need your supervisor.
No!
am the supervisor.
Get your supervisor. I'm officially
I
asking
don't have
for your
that.
supervisor.
I don't have anything to flip it off. Anybody, 10-4 units from the clear?
You have to get your supervisor when I ask for
The
one.
only 10-4 units ever 13
Because you're about to violate my First Amendment right to freely record in public.
SWAT, do we have any other citywide units and one that can help out?
Any other units and one that can go to come here, help out, ready to come here?
The courts have ruled that you cannot construe a constitutionally protected activity into a crime. I am exercising my First Amendment right to record in public. And you have just threatened me with arrest for exercising my rights.
You wouldn't want to deprive me of my constitutional rights, would you, musclehead?
Where did he go? Back here.
Just to be clear, there are no signs here that says restricted.
I advised you on your video.
So there has to be a sign. You can just tell me it's restricted without it actually being restricted. All right? Okay. Make sure I get your name. What you should be doing, sir, is upholding your oath to the Constitution that you swore to. You swore an oath to defend the U.S. Constitution, and that includes my First Amendment right. And so far, you are violating your oath. You're violating your oath to the Constitution. Loud and clear. I have it on camera.
I think we've all had enough of this clown, so let's just watch the good part, shall we? Let's see this idiot get the jewelry he so rightly deserves.
That's fine. Hello. Yeah, may I have your name and your badge number? Don't interfere with my...
It's right there.
Okay.
Go ahead, I agree with that.
It's a little tight. It's a little tight. Okay. It's supposed to be tight.
And we're going to end the video here. He was arrested and charged with criminal trespassing. There's no update to the case yet, to my knowledge. I'll keep a lookout. But we can all assume he's going to try to file a lawsuit for the violation of his civil rights and all of his other frauding bullshit that he will come out with. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I will see you guys next time. And a special thing to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous, ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I want to thank all of you personally from the bottom of my heart.